do some for with People News. Summary, judgment, talk show. I called him up last week and then I called him this week. And here we go.
Call? Let's take a call.
See if I can get this to work. Let's do it this way.
Why break tradition?
Summary judgment. Hello?
Hello, this is Joe out of Abilene, Texas.
Hi,
Hey,
Joe.
Abilene, Texas.
Now, did you call last week, Joe?
I did.
Oh, okay. I
With
remember
your grandbaby.
you. Yeah, you got your granddaughter there with you today?
I had a grandson, but no, he went to visit his mom and other grandparents.
Oh, Wade. I remember. Wade. Yes. Okay. So did something we say make you want to call up and comment?
Well, I just wanted to remind we the people that we are all newscasters. Anytime you film or say anything, that's we the people's rights. Then Fox News, they've got a press pass, but Fox News provides it. There is no such thing as actual legal press pass. It just gives a separation from real newscasters and we the people. But in all actuality, we all are news.
I agree, and that's why in Southern California, the San Diego Police Department was giving out media credentials, and then when journalists like J.C. Playford would show up at incidents, they would ask for a media credential, and for a time he had one, but then he didn't have one anymore, and so they would say that he was not equal to and couldn't cover the stories that the other media were covering, and that was totally illegal, totally against the Constitution, and our federal courts didn't do anything about it. And I don't know if San Diego is still doing that or not.
Well, and that's the downfall is it costs so much money to fight this through the legal terms, and it's kind of hard for the small people to jump up and override the big people.
Right. I mean, I loved it back in, what was it, January of 2017, Ed? We went on the website to Donald Trump's, maybe it was November, December, I don't know.
Down in New Jersey.
Yeah, and we applied for press passes, me and Ed did, through American News, and they were granted. And we went down there when he was interviewing people to be in his cabinet, and we were standing there with the national news organizations, and that was great that we were able to do that, and that's the way it should be.
Well, it should be, and I understand why they do it. However, I still think that we shouldn't have press, that we should be just we the people and say, hey, I'm representing the people. So what do you want to say to the people?
Well, I tell you what, if the George Floyd incident had not been video recorded by someone standing
There wouldn't be a trial.
There would not be a trial going on right now. There would not be.
No, I agree.
There
and
would
that
be.
was press. That was news.
That it absolutely was.
And the gentleman filming it probably didn't even know his rights, knowing that he actually became a newscaster at that time.
Yeah, changed the trajectory of a lot of things in America just by that one video.
Let me explain. One of the most famous privately shot videos in history was the Magruder tape of the Kennedy assassination. That was not shot by the mainstream media. That was shot by a private individual on his little 16 or 8 millimeter camera. And I have always maintained that it's going to be the little guy. You walk up to a scene and the police officer right away sees the size of your camera, and it's not a $100,000 camera, and he goes, hey, what's this? I said, yeah, I'm the media. Yeah, you're the media. And so I look at my camera, I said, can I ask you a question? He says, what? Do you have penis envy? I said, what do you can't. I said, no, you think that bigger is better? I said, let me tell you something. I'll shoot more with this little camera than any one of those $100,000 cameras.
Yeah, but that's been a while while since anybody really.
No,
had that viewpoint.
but you gotta understand.
Because even with the even with national journalists now, you see them holding up their.
But I, in the 80s, was arguing to the government, law enforcement, said, it's not the size of the camera. It's, I'm here, and you don't expect me to be here because the media can't get here that fast.
Mhm.
But I'm here, and now you're in trouble, because like in the Floyd case, they shot the film of him being killed, and if they didn't do it, the cops would have it would have gone away.
So Joe, you were going to say something?
Yeah, we'll go back into, five people really run the whole media outlet, all through the United States wise. So they're all pretty much one thing. Some a little bit better on outlooks than others, but when you mathematically figure it out, they all have the government interest in most parts. And it's getting to where it's ridiculous that you get more news from YouTube than you do from the news, Fox News and CNN and all them.
I think it's only a matter of time where the government finds a way to rein in the variety of opinion on YouTube and throughout the internet. They're going to have to, well, they're going to regulate it. I'll put it that way, because of exactly what you're saying. People are giving up on the mainstream, and they're getting their news from these other sites, and I don't think that is what the government and the people who run the mainstream news are going to allow for much longer.
Well, I don't have factual evidence, but the way I'm seeing this is there's government subsidies to the big people there, like YouTube, and rights is getting restricted to free speech because of the cause and effect of the government. So they're doing, it's my company, however, they get subsidies. And so they're restricting certain people's freedom. And it goes with Facebook. Again, I don't have actual evidence to back that up, but there's a reason why they're starting to actually shut people up on Facebook and YouTube and all that. I don't even think the government has to involve themselves. They always use outside forces to do their dirty work.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah, and YouTube and Facebook are not government entities, so they can't violate your constitutional rights. So you can't sue them for First Amendment violations unless you find some connection, like you say, with the government. You may not be able to. They may just be going along with it.
Well, it's kind of like the banking industry, with the rally they had at the Capitol. They started getting information from the banks, but the banks didn't have to release it. The banks, all they had to do is just say, hey, you need a warrant. But, but the banks paid on the government side, and the people that, went to the rally or whatever, they're handing out, their personal effects to the government without a warrant, because they just feel like they have all this authority to do so. I got a bank meeting Monday. Now I'm going to ask them if I bank with y'all. Are you going to make an insist of a warrant to get my bank information?
It's a good
And
question.
they say no. Yep. Well,
But,
everything that the government has to do is go behind closed doors with private individuals, give people's freedoms, when everything has to consist of warrants. They got to have a warrant unless they get consent.
yeah, and a bank can consent.
I think the requirement of warrants is so trampled that we may never be able to get it back to an absolute strict rule of law that you gotta have a warrant.
Yeah, the exceptions to
Excuse
the
me.
Fourth Amendment have overridden the actual Fourth Amendment protections. You are correct in that, no doubt about it.
Yep.
Yeah, well, of course I'm a Constitution guy, so I'm not really a Democrat or Republican. I lean one side more than the other. But, like the Supreme Court, the Republican side is more for the government of like qualified immunity and all that kind of stuff.
True.
And they actually have little loopholes in the Constitution, which our founding father says, when they have that hole there, the government does not have that right, the people do. But they go and find that loophole, and then the government confiscates that loophole.
Mm-hmm.
And the Supreme Court says, yes, you can do this. When it actually,
That's a good reason.
Says, no, that belongs to the people.
Well, I'd be interested to see what your bank says on Monday, because I had a case here in Connecticut, and you might remember that case, Ed, where the client definitely had another person, a government entity, go and get bank records. And that seemed to be illegal to me, without a warrant, without my client's permission. At least here in Connecticut, there is no confidentiality or privilege in bank records. If a bank wanted to, they could give your records out to a neighbor. Or at least here in Connecticut, there's no law preventing that. I don't know if other states have it or not. There's no federal law that prevents it either. So I think a lot of people think their bank records are safe, and they may not be.
Yeah, and I think we go within also, like I said, a month or two ago, I don't remember, but we go back into contract, so when I go to a bank, we're going to change this contract where if the government wants to see my record, they're going to issue a warrant, or we're going to have a verbal agreement, and then we're going to put it in writing that they're going to be, some type of warrant.
Right.
And it's not the simple fact I'm doing anything wrong. That's the simple fact I want my Constitution upheld and my privacy secured from the government. I'll sign a contract with a bank within their guidelines, but the bank and the government is a separate entity, and I don't want them to intervene and get information without that warrant.
Yeah, some good thoughts, Joe. Thanks for calling up this week. And be sure to bring Wade next time.
And call in next week to let us know what the bank said.
I do want to know that, because I'm thinking the bank is going to look at him and think, what is this guy up to? Why does he want this stuff?
He's going to think Joe's got two heads.
Because it's just like when the police come to your house and you say, I demand a warrant, then they're like, well, what are you hiding? Why can't we just come in? What's the harm if you're not doing anything wrong? That's the old argument.
Well, in 1969, the Supreme Court ruled that it's legal for them to lie.
Absolutely.
So, they can lie to we the people as much as they want. It's up to we the people to say, nope, and then you just call them out. I don't trust you, it's legal for you to lie. You may not be lying, but it's legal for you to do so I don't trust you.
Yeah, but God forbid you lie to the police. That's a whole nother offense in and of itself. Especially if it's the feds.
Really? All right, listen.
Yeah.
Call us next week, Joe.
Have a good week, and
All right.
good luck tomorrow.
Have a good weekend.
Or Monday.
All right.
Bye. Yesterday being kind of a holiday. I think it was a federal holiday. I'm not even sure. It may have been
It was a
state
religious
holiday.
holiday.
Yeah, but what I mean is, state or federal holiday. It seemed like a Saturday, so I got mixed up and thought tomorrow was Monday, but we have an extra day.
We do. How much time? Wind it up.
Oh, wind it up. Perfect.
Wind it up.
Okay, we'll see you next week.
And we'll have some topics.
Good job, Ed.
This is for With People News. Till next time, y'all. Bye.